What's going on, guys? Today I got a little story for you about where I used to live. I've lived in a lot of different places. I've lived in California, Connecticut, Washington, and now Oregon. And when I lived in Washington, I was about 10 when this happened. And you see, I kind of lived in the middle of nowhere when I lived there. I lived up on this mountain called Mount Rainier, and there was just one little cul-de-sac of houses for like 10 miles around. And in this cul-de-sac, I lived on a really big hill that went down for like a quarter of a mile. I lived near the top, and this other kid that was around my age, which was my only friend in my neighborhood, lived at the bottom of it. Now, the only problem with this kid being my friend is he was kind of a fucking psychopath. So one day I have him over, and we're just doing the typical thing any little 10-year-old guy does. He pretends that he's in fucking Call of Duty and has a bunch of fucking Nerf guns. And since I lived in the middle of nowhere, I had a big open backyard with trees all over on the sides and a big open grass field in the middle, and it was probably about an acre. And that actually made it really cool when I had a lot of friends over and we were doing these Nerf battles, because there'd be people like hiding in the trees and shit, and we'd have like little bases, and it was literally like we were in Call of Duty, but it was like we were playing it in our backyard. It was pretty sick. I had a good childhood. But anyways, on this particular day, it was just me and my other friend, and I had one of those Nerf pistols, and he had like a sniper rifle, and he couldn't hit me because I kept on dodging the fucking bullets, because I did this shit all the time, and I kept on hitting him over and over and over again. And this kid must have had some fucking mental problems or something, but he just went fucking rage mode. He tried to melee me in the back of the head with the butt of his gun. Did it. I was on the ground like, bro, what the fuck? He runs into my house, which my parents are still in, and by the time I get into my house, my mom comes up to me and says the kid ran out of our garage with a bunch of Pokemon cards in his hands. And I was like, holy shit, we were playing with our Pokemon cards earlier today, and I was showing him all of my best ones. He must have taken my fucking rare Pokemon cards. And you know, when you're a 10-year-old kid, having a bunch of rare fucking Pokemon cards is pretty much the same thing as having a sports car when you're in high school. Like, it's the shit. Kids would always bring their cards to class, and everyone would walk over who had the best cards, and whoever had the best cards was like the cool kid. So I was like, I'm not gonna let this little fucking pleb take my Pokemon cards and run back to his house. So I get my tennis shoes on, and I'm in like every single sports team at my school, so I was pretty fast for a 10-year-old. And he's got like a 30-second start on me. Because the hill is so long, I eventually catch up to him down by his house, tackle him, see that he has my Pokemon cards. He's fucking crying, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And I take my Pokemon cards, he gets up, still bawling his eyes out, and runs into his house. And both of this guy's parents were cops, so I almost decided, fuck, I'll just go in there and tell them what he did. The only problem with that is, it was so ironic. These cops didn't care what their kid did as long as he wasn't in their house, and he just pretty much did an assault and robbery. So I went back to my house with Pokemon cards in hand and felt pretty good about myself, and as you can probably imagine, didn't hang out with that kid so much anymore. And the best part is, I got him back a couple days before I moved to Oregon, and this is like a year after this event occurred. We were trading Pokemons on like the game, and I gave him a fucking Jigglypuff for his Squirtle, and my starting Pokemon's a Charmander, so I pretty much fucked him over, moved. His cop dad calls and says that I need to trade his Pokemon back, but back then there was no internet connection, and we did it with those little USB cords. So I told him, sorry, I think you're a little bit out of your jurisdiction. Hang up the phone, block the number, and I haven't heard from them yet. So yeah, that's the story I got for you guys. Hope you liked it, and peace.